un poquito de español para empezar.
Perfecto, muy bien.
Porque el estilo se siente en todos los idiomas.
Ajá.
Did I say it right?
Perfectly.
I was practicing the whole week to say this phrase.
You said it perfectly.
Do you know any Greek word, by the way? I mean, you came to Greece recently. We met there.
I'm trying to remember the one that you use when you cheers. What was that?
Yamas.
Exactly.
Yamas.
The one that is stuck in my mind.
That's a good start. Ευχαριστώ. It's gracias.
Right.
Thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you for coming.
Where the legacy, the magic of your history lays.
Right.
It's so nice. The touring that you did with me in the factory
Hope
was...
you liked it?
Yes, I did. Since 1925, it's like a century ago.
It is a century ago.
You're the third generation of Pedro Garcia, Pedro the Third.
Exactly.
So last year, you did like a lot of events were going on, a lot of trips. You issued the book contributing this 100 years. I mean, a century. Can you realize that? A whole century. I mean, this is big.
It is big. It is.
So after all of these celebrations have come to an end, what's the feeling after this?
It's a little bit exhausting, actually. But no, I'm, of course, happy. It's been an incredible year, you know, with all of these celebrations and so many people that I had the chance to meet.
Yeah.
You know.
I came to New York at your amazing event.
Right. So
the vibe was very Pedro Garcia.
It was. So I think it's been a very emotional year on one side, and I think it's going to be also very productive for all of us.
Yeah.
You know.
You have gathered like many information from all these trips.
That's what I was saying, that I think we're going to need the time to digest everything that happened and make us understand how do we proceed from here on.
Yeah. Do you feel any anxiety for what's the next milestone?
I think it's a little early to think about.
Because you raised the bar.
Absolutely. But I think that at the end, everything has been very positive and, as I said, emotional moment for the company, for the family, and have a pretty clear idea of the product that we want, the way we want to achieve, you know, different goals. So
you're certain of what you do?
I believe so.
After so many years?
Yeah.
So Pedro Garcia, it's more than shoes. It's about a family story.
Right.
And I want to go back a few years ago when you were a kid.
Yes.
So what's the first memory that you have from here, from your father, your grandfather?
I would say, I mean, my grandfather, when I met him when I was young, he wasn't really on the factory anymore.
But you know stories, yes.
Right. But then with my father, it's a completely different story, because when I started, he was young and very active. My memories concerning the shoe factory, I would say I started when I was around 16, 17.
It came naturally.
It was summertime, and then, you know, you finish school, and then my father said, why don't you come and help us a little bit, you know, getting to know what's going on here. I think it was very important period of my life, also because that's when you really learn how a shoe is made.
But now you understand how right your father was.
Oh, yes. Now that the time has passed, of course, that you realize
appreciate
it was a good idea.
Yeah, it was very good idea, obviously. Okay, I'm so excited to see where all of this magic happens.
So we keep going.
Yes.
We go to the cutting room now, so that you are able to understand the process.
How much time it needs for a shoe to be produced?
I would say it depends very much on the typology. As you said before, we make from very simple sandals to complicated, complicated, but more elaborated boots. So I would say maybe a very simple sandal can take up to 2 hours, maybe something like this.
How many shoes can be produced within a day?
Within a day, we can produce up to 300.
300.
Yeah. It depends also on how complex.
Yes.
We're talking about boots, you're going to reduce that at least 50%.
Por favor, cerrar la puerta, gracias.
This is more of a stock room.
Okay.
This is the leather that we are using right now to make
to produce the collection.
The production. Exactly. You can see that we use all of the techniques that I told you before. For example, he's going to cut with a knife, just a regular, normal, everyday kind of.
That's something you don't see every day.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
nowadays people think that everything is replaced.
It's automatic or no?
From machines.
We want to be able to produce what we can control. We don't want to lose the control of the quality of the way it's
Maybe
made.
that's the key of your success, probably.
Maybe.
If you wouldn't be doing what you do right now, what your secret talent when you were a kid?
At that time, I wasn't really sure what was going to be the future about. I knew that I liked fashion and I liked photography.
From the age of 15?
Oh, yes,
nice.
very much. Yes, very much. Very much always concerned about the way you look, what you put on. But besides that, I would say, yes, photography. I love photography and graphic design. And so at that time...
Well, that explains a lot.
Yes. So my father said, why don't you try? Why don't you give it a chance? Why don't you... So he invited me to go to different shoe shows and trade shows, get to understand a little bit what the business was about. We started, my sister and myself, at that time, we thought that it was more important to be someone in Europe. By the year 2000, by the 2000s, we were very well positioned in Italy. And that also helped us very much to project the name in the US, all of the American tourism that comes to Italy and see the shoes on the main Italian shoe stores. That gave us already the credibility
and the visibility.
The visibility as a brand. So yeah.
Can you see this?
It's a digital cut. I was saying we use from the very basic techniques, cutting with a knife, to a clicker machine,
this is amazing.
to the latest technology, which is digital cutting. So once we do the cutting room, now we go to the assembly.
Okay, when you put everything together.
We have to put them together, stitching the different parts or placing some ornamentation. All of the process that takes care of what we call the upper. The upper is the upper part of the shoe.
Yeah, which is more important though.
I would say that everything has its importance, right? Because if you don't have a good insole, then it's gonna feel comfy. If the upper is not well finished, it's gonna be a problem. You're going to see how many different components go to make a shoe. It's really crazy. So it depends. You can have from 4 or 5 components to 80.
10.
No.
Oh, 80.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
She's doing a stitching of the Swarovski crystal.
My God. I didn't know that everything was handmade.
Oh, yes. The process is so much, so many hands. Of course, you have tools, but without hands, tools mean nothing. So,
that's very, very important.
Absolutely, very much.
Without hands, tools mean nothing.
Tools are tools, so you have to use them the best way you can, but there has to be a nice projection, there has to be a nice design, and then you have, of course, professionals that are going to help you make the best of it with a good tool, but especially with good know-how.
Do you always come down here to inspect, or
yes, very often.
Like every day?
Not only inspecting, but sometimes a specific prototype you need to come down to check.
To see how.
Do you like the color of the thread? Is it too thin, too thick? This is the big advantage.
You always make samples at first at every design.
Every design makes a prototype first, and after the prototype, you make a sample. And after the sample, you make a fitting test. We work with 3 different girls trying sizing. They are all 37, but
why?
Because I don't know why. Historically, that's the way.
Okay.
You always
because
happen like
it
that.
would make sense if you have like different.
No.
Like
for the samples, 37.
37, always the smallest.
Always the smallest. I don't know why.
If there is a recipe that works, we do not change.
Not change.
Okay.
Exactly.
Bye. I tried before I came here. I tried to find on the web the first design of Pedro Garcia for women.
Right.
But the very first design was for babies.
Yes,
because you started from newborns, right?
That was the tradition. When you started with a little workshop, it was quite popular to make shoes for kids and men at the same time. So that's what my grandfather did through the very beginning. Actually, it was my father that had the plan in mind to expand and make women's shoes, and at the end stay with them, because little by little he realized that women consume a larger amount of...
Clever. Your father was very clever. I did find a few designs though, but when you look at them, I found an ad from Bloomingdale's end of 81, I think, and other images. But when you look at them, there's a big difference from the designs today. Much color, pastel tones. The styles were more like, they were like 70s, 80s.
Right, different time. Concerning the design of the product at that time, was it really Pedro Garcia? Well, it had the Pedro Garcia hand. I would say that it was when us, with the third generation, joins the company, that we give it a specific aesthetic, that we give it a shape to the project. I think it was quite the way it had to happen, the evolution of the. So that's why I say that Pedro Garcia, as you said, it's not just a brand, it's a story.
It's a story.
And the first
throughout the years.
Throughout the years.
Have you ever considered of reviving any of the archives? The very old ones.
I guess once in a while you take a look at some products that were made at the time, and they influence you. But I would say that we've been more influenced by the way we proceed. You know, the way you do things.
Okay.
The way you relate to your employees, the way you give instructions, the way you approach or you deal with a problem. I would say that's also Pedro Garcia.
Probably you don't need that though, because now in the fashion world, the archive fever, it's a trend. Everybody is returning at their roots.
To the past,
Why that happens? Because lack of inspiration maybe, or they want to seek value from their roots?
I'm not really sure. I would say that, this happens once in a while, right? The fashion is always always a cycle. I would say that this is, maybe now it's a little bit of a nostalgic moment, and that's fine.
So it's a trend, basically.
I would say, even though I think it's always fantastic to look at the past.
Yes.
Just to be able to look at it. It shouldn't be always the starting point.
Not to forget. It's a nice thing.
Right.
Not to forget.
So, no, I mean, for example, we love the 70s. For us, the 70s is like the best of... But there are so many fun things from the 80s. And then I have my memories from the 90s. And what about the year 2000? You know, so there is always something to... But nostalgia is something that's going on right now. And I guess all of these big brands, I would say, like... I mean, imagine that you're referring to brands like Gucci's or Valentino's.
Everybody does that.
But I think it's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, to look at the past is the important thing is to look at it with new eyes, with fresh eyes, with a new approach.
You always say that comfort and style aren't friends, but here they are.
We try them to be. Yeah. We've been.
What's the secret? I mean, I can assure that, I wear your shoes and I feel very comfortable. Is it because you used to design for babies?
No. I don't think it's. I would say on one hand is not something that we did super intentionally. But I
just come naturally?
Not exactly naturally. I'm gonna tell you. The thing is, so my wife is co-creative director in the company, so it's very important that she was always able to try on shoes, and yes, she's a little bit obsessed with comfort. So I would say that many times it's possibly her fault, the fact that she pushes a little bit, a little bit.
That makes the shoes sustainable as well.
Also, absolutely.
Because it's not only that you buy something for this season and you're not going to wear it. Although Pedro Garcia women wears your shoes like forever.
Forever, right. Is this the first time you've been in a shoe factory?
Yeah, in a shoe factory, yes.
Yeah, I know that everyone gets like really like impressed to see, as I
Yes.
said, so many different steps.
Okay.
We do not produce any stock, only orders,
Oh,
only by demand.
okay.
So there is a specific client.
That's clever, by the way.
Yeah.
No waste.
No waste.
No waste. My
He's
God.
placing every specific strap where they belong.
Now that's amazing that you still do that.
Very, very much a handmade process. As I said, machines, tools are going to help you. But for example, sandals, we don't use the lasting machine. The lasting machine is only for moccasins, pumps, boots, but not for sandals.
Because they have like
Because the toe is a little,
hardened.
yes.
Yeah.
So you need extra,
Extra strength for this.
exactly. Super.
Oh, I love that style. Oh, same
sole.
color, huh?
Yes, matching.
This. Wow. I have this design, but without heels.
Oh, you do?
This is beautiful.
So this was just like a little introduction, and of course we can go in detail for so many different types of collections and styles, but this is a little bit more or less how
Yeah, we need to do that because now I can understand a bit more of your everything.
Yeah,
What you stand for, I mean, how a shoe is being made.
right.
Because sometimes, when you get the final product, you
Right.
don't know what's happening before
Before.
and all the process, and you do not value
Right.
as much as you had to.
Absolutely.
When you know, you appreciate.
You appreciate it more.
You know what I like to your shoes the most?
What is it?
Is the fact that you bring in our daily life fine materials.
Fine materials,
I
right?
mean, you can wear like silk
Like
and
crystals or
crystals
satin,
during the
right?
day, and it's okay. It's
Yes.
really fresh.
Yes.
I mean, I really do love that.
Right.
And
right.
I don't know why you don't have already a flagship store in Greece.
I
Because
wonder.
It's the ideal shoe
For the lifestyle, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's super for summer, for vacation.
Right.
You don't have like super high heels.
Right.
They're very comfortable, stylish for every occasion. I mean, for parties, for like strolling at the beach, to walk at the pebblish pavements.
Right.
And now it's not only Greeks in Greece.
Right,
Many
right.
people come.
No, I heard
there.
that. I was just remember. I heard that so many times. We had a tour last year, as you said before, tours in the Orient, in the U.S. And I remember in the U.S. most of the stores they said, when we sell your shoes, we tell our customers this is like a go-to shoe for vacation. When you go to Greece, when you go to Italy.
see,
Absolutely, and they have very much identified, especially the flat shoes, the platform sandals. So yes,
And they're very
absolutely
elegant.
right.
Yes, because all of
Yes,
these components, the
Right.
crystals
Right.
and the silk, it's
Right.
ideal because
And then the combination of the both of them,
it's
as you
not
said
only
before.
that you wear a sandal
Right.
and you're comfortable, you're very, on
Right.
point.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't need to wear sneakers, right? Because lately the thing was you either had super high heels or you go to sneakers, and there is
Yeah.
nothing in between. Yes, there should be.
We have Pedro Garcia for
yes,
that.
It should be in between. Yes, there are many other possibilities.
Now, many celebrities wore and wear your shoes, from Michelle Obama to Jennifer Aniston, from Beyonce to Sarah Jessica Parker. I just love the name dropping here. So if I would ask you to describe me, the woman that wears Pedro Garcia, how that woman would look like?
I don't think there is a specific one. I think we have a lot of joy to understand, or at least for me, when I understand that a 20-year-old and an 80-year-old like the shoe as much. I hate when if we are ever told to, maybe we could make something that's a little younger. Younger? What are you talking about? This is not young or old. This is a product that is liked by people. They could be 20 or they could be 80.
You don't want to define the age.
Age, I think it's a terrible thing to define.
I agree. Thank you for that.
I don't think that makes any sense. I think you have to have a liking for a product. So I don't think there is a specific profile, really. I think that you achieve something very important when all those generations appreciate the same way the same product.
Agreed.
So happy you made it to all the way to Spain, all the way to Alicante, to the factory.
So you basically gave me the green light as the marketing and communication director of the brand. So thank you so much for this. So tell me about that phone call, because you were studying in New York when your grandfather called you and asked you to join. Will you join us at the family business?
Yeah.
How that phone call changed you?
Yeah, I was in New York. I was having so much fun. I was an art director, having, the opportunity to work for different fashion brands, studios. And at some point, I was growing up and saying, okay, I have a beautiful project back in Spain. And at some point, I would like to be part of it in a more proactive way. So until then, I was wearing the shoes, but I wasn't in the behind the scenes. So my grandfather was turning 80 and he was like, I think you should come and try. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. You can always go back to New York. But
he was smart also.
Try with me.
How is working with family?
He is passionate, he's intense.
Intense for sure.
Intense for the goods, intense for the bads.
Was there any moment that you felt that you have to prove yourself to your father, to your grandfather, and to prove them, I'm worthy?
Yeah, of course. Since the day first, I'm like, I have to prove everything I know. I learned from outside. I have to prove it here. And sometimes myself, I was very intense. Like, I need probation.
You've been here for more than 10 years, pretty much.
12, yeah. By
12
now.
years? Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you came from the beginning of social media. Now they expanded like crazy. They clearly are the big player. A lot of these changes came on to you because you lived that
transition, totally.
That transition,
I came
right?
Here, there's no Facebook, no Instagram.
And now here we are.
And I was like, we should do this. We should bring the shoes to influencers because they wear it all day. And actually that changed a lot.
Yeah.
Also, we were able from here, the factory, communicate with you. So that was amazing because normally it would be like a PR agency in LA, contacting celebrities with no touch with the brand. And now here's you, we're in the product, going in fashion weeks, meeting each other. And that gave a different layer to the way we communicate.
There's too much information and people, I think viewers, wants to be more relevant. How that changed into advertisement? What do you do to have your audience attached to the brand?
I guess you have to be very authentic and you have to be very committed to your values because then you start creating a real community of people that loves you because you don't only make nice shoes, but you're getting them into interesting content and you're inspiring them in their everyday life.
Don't stop, invest in experience.
I believe a lot in experience because that's the way for shoes, to try them and feel them, and also to create a community of people that inspire each other.
Well, your father said that the key values of the brand is curiosity and wanderlust. So what makes the brand curious?
I imagine that this is something that we receive from, DNA, from the family, to be curious about everything. If you go to a different country, you're curious about what's your culinary preferences, or what do they eat, or how do they behave, or how. So I think this is something difficult to explain because we just feel it. I have the sensation that when I want to learn about technique or a material or whatever, I always tend to go as deep as I can, because without the full knowledge, you cannot keep growing.
Yes.
You cannot keep, even with your team. Today, every Monday morning, I have a meeting with my team, with my technical team. And these conversations comes every single Monday, because when you ask something, but they told me, I say, no, it's not what they told you. What did you learn about it? Or did you try to go a little deeper? Or, did you try to inform yourself about what you're telling me? Not what the supplier told you. The supplier is going to tell you what they believe is good or bad, but what do you think?
I will add that you're a bit romantic as well, because you have to have romance in order to be curious, right?
Absolutely. Yes, you're right.
So I want to end this beautiful conversation with one last thing. What would you advise to young people when they are between of following the family business or creating their own path? That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, on one side, I think that you have to be able to, first of all, understand what you're doing, what the project is. In order to be able to give your insight, you have to be able to understand before, what the story is about, what the project is about, to keep walking on the same, or even if you want to change the direction, you have to be able to deeply understand the past and the present of the company or the project or whatever.
That's deep. So you must dive in.
Dive in. Be curious.
Okay, that's a very good thing to end. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been a privilege, and all the touring. It's been a quite journey for me to come all the way here for my first time in Madrid.
I'm glad.
And show all the process of your storytelling, and how you must know that you are in our hearts.
Thank
and
you very much.
Everything starts from the ground, from the shoes.
From the shoes.
So thank you so gracias.
Thank you very
Gracias.
much.
I have a small present from Greece.
Wow.
Yes, it's like local products.
Oh,
But I wanted to say thank you.
oh, good.
You know what that is? It's our local cola.
Cola.
Yes.
Okay. This is one of the first things that I buy when I go to a foreign country is Ruffles. You know, the chips.
Yes,
because they have flavors from all over the world. So this
is Greek, and this is something sweet because you're very lean and you have room for calories.
Perfect.
I don't know if you ever tried lucumia before.
No.
That will be your first.
I'm sure my wife knows about it.
I give you an open invitation to Greece. You have great inspiration to grasp from Greece.
I'm sure.
And I'm dreaming loud for someday to see a flagship store with Pedro Garcia in very bold.
I hope we can fulfill your dream.
Yes. Please do so. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.